Hello, listeners and viewers. Welcome back to another episode of Women's Insights on News and Entertainment. So, today we have Tia, that's me. I am drinking some beautiful clearance wine from Target, Cartledge and Brown Chardonnay.
I'm Miska, and I am drinking some spiked pomegranate seltzer water from the Shell House.
Okay.
I'm Shirley, and I'm actually drinking Prosecco today because it's been one of those weeks. Plus TGIT starts this week from Gancha.
Sweet. I'm Treese, and I am drinking Weekend Owl Chardonnay.
And I'm Jenilyn, and I'm drinking Winking Owl White Zinfandel. Same from last week.
Very fancy. So thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be discussing Trump's NFL tweets and statements at the Alabama rally. A little bit of Michelle Obama's statement to women who voted for Trump. In entertainment news, we're going to talk about Ian Somerhalder and birth control. Tamar Braxton and why this will be her final album. A couple of charity shout outs. Our ending segment, Let's Whine About It. Well, where we whine about things. And I think that'll be it. Yeah. So just disclaimer, guys, if you're listening while you're on your way to work or driving, please don't drink. Don't drink and drive. Just don't do it. If you're not, and you're also not an alcoholic, go ahead and join us. Well, pour yourself a glass of wine. Remember to always drink responsibly. Relax and join us for wine. Now, let's get sipping.
Yes.
I've been sipping.
I'm excited.
I do this every time. I keep pouring it way too much.
But then you keep refilling, so it's not too much. It's okay.
It's not bad. It's hump day, so might as well.
Is it Wednesday?
It is. It's still Wednesday. Yes.
Wine Wednesday. Woo woo.
Yeah. It won't be Wednesday when you watch, but we'll work on making it Wednesday when you watch. And
We're working on it.
We're working on it, guys. It's just the beginning.
All right.
So, first up we have the 45's wonderful tweets and statements.
I feel like I've gotten myself worked up about this for way too long.
Yeah.
There are thoughts to be had.
So many thoughts. Okay, here we go. So 45, our main guy, during an Alabama rally to support Senator Luther Strange, who, by the way, lost his little election, which is kind of funny, decided to randomly go off on the NFL owners with, should I say the quote? I'm going to say the quote.
Go for it.
Quote, "Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, 'Get that son of a bitch off that field right now'?
There goes that E rating.
He's fired. He's fired."
You sound just like him.
You sound fired up.
Yeah, he goes, some owner is going to do that. He's going to say, that guy that disrespects our flag, he's fired. And that owner, they don't know it, but they'll be the most popular person in this country. So, I mean,
oh wait, but didn't he say for a week though? For at least a week?
Well, he said that.
Or was that a tweet?
He said that in the rally, and then so all the NFL owners and players all stepped up, and then he continuously supported that little statement via tweets for the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to go back even because who started the movement, which was Colin Kaepernick, who decided to kneel because he felt like the flag doesn't represent him and his people. And until he feels like it does, he's going to take a knee.
Right.
So he basically...
Was it the flag, or was it more about drawing attention?
Yeah.
For Colin?
So he was trying to draw attention, but also just he feels like he can't respect something that doesn't respect or represent him because it's not equal. Like they're not doing. It's not doing what he doesn't feel it represents him.
So
with
it was
all the black men getting killed by all these police officers.
Right. So that
and getting
was
away with it.
last year. It was August 26th. He said that he wasn't going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses Black people and people of color. So it wasn't, Trump turned it around saying that people who are kneeling are disrespecting the flag and being unpatriotic, which wasn't the case. That's not why people are kneeling or why Colin Kaepernick started it in the first place.
Right.
Who, by the way, still does not have a job because no one picks him up.
Think that is, well, a lot of things piss me off about that, but that is what pisses me off about, like, why is he still not playing? Like, all these teams and all these owners are suddenly down to be a part of this whole thing, but where's CK with his job, though? I'm calling him CK now. I've claimed it. Where is he
Calvin
and
Klein?
his job?
Right?
I knew that sounded familiar. There you go,
Yeah.
Calvin Klein. But in this case, Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, why doesn't he have a job still?
Because the season already started and he's not on a team, so it's easy to not pick someone up, but that's neither here nor there. I hear what you're saying.
Right. No,
Football.
but I mean...
Go ahead, Charlie. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
So just even in speaking in football terms, let's talk about it. So Jay Cutler, the old Chicago Bears quarterback who went into retirement and wanted to get like some broadcasting job. Shit did not pan out. His wife was like, you got to do something, right? A fucking Florida team picks him up. And he's the fucking worst quarterback in the NFL. But Colin Kaepernick is a pretty decent quarterback, puts up pretty decent numbers, and did not get picked. Did not get picked up by any team.
Well, and like, what's annoying, the second thing that I didn't get to, what's annoying about like the owners suddenly being down for the movement, the players are a whole other thing. But the owners, like, they're not actually down for any movement, right? Like, it's just money. Do you know what I mean? Like, They don't actually care about this. It's a hot topic. And at the end of the day, they know a lot of ethnic people love their sports.
Right.
And buy into their sports. And so let's keep the money coming in by showing our solidarity for all people, including the United States. And our
One of those owners, like, he supported Trump. He put like millions
lot
into
of
his
them.
campaign.
A lot of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great. We're getting more solidarity, I guess. But
It was so optimistic of you.
well, because I mean, like, I'm glad that there are more numbers out there, but I just wish the intention was actually from a place of caring, and I know it's not.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know y'all aren't really allies out here, so cool. But I guess that's white privilege, right? Like, I'll take your white privilege, thanks. I know you don't care though, so cool.
So that was my other thing I was thinking about too with that. I'm like, this could possibly be a time for them to learn to care and have a conversation with their people. I know I'm trying to be as optimistic as I possibly can.
I appreciate that.
And we're like, girl, I
A
get
little
No,
ribbon for the
like,
Titan.
in my mind, like, I really want the, like, I forgot the guy, the Dallas, Cowboys owner who kneeled with his teammates, or his employees, and stood with them. That he did, like, I know it's about money, but that, like, I'm hoping that he took the time at least to try to understand where they're coming from, and that
Maybe.
it's,
Yeah.
And then the other thing that kind of was just like, so you upset because he called y'all mama sons of bitches. So you're not upset at the fact that these police officers been killing these Black people, though, or people of color.
I think that's the problem is that, Trump twisted it to make it being unpatriotic, right? So a lot of people who are Trump, his base, they don't understand why the protests are happening in the beginning. They just think, oh, well, they're kneeling, they're disrespecting our flag, they hate veterans. But no one's understanding.
They hate America.
They hate America. Let's protest the NFL. But that's not the reason why it's starting in the first place.
Right.
Well, and that's because that's an easy argument for his base. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's the same thing, like, on PSA, they've talked about it a lot. Shout out to our friends of
God,
the
our
pod.
best friends.
I wonder how many times we can include them in our pods before we
Everyone.
eventually get on their radar. But anyway, that's the thing that's the argument that he uses all the time for his base. Like what they were talking about on PSA is with him and the reporters, right? Like they're unpatriotic. So like it takes this mentality of us versus them and makes it into a more acceptable argument where it's not black versus white, it's patriotic versus non-patriotic. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's the cheapest argument he can make, and it's the one that's effective for him, so he's going to keep doing it.
He uses what's easy for him to
Right.
rally up his people, like his trigger words, like I'm going to use the word terrorist, I'm going to use the word America, patriotic.
Loser.
Right, and then
Loser more than terrorist.
Right.
Everyone's a loser.
Everyone's a loser, sons of bitches. Like that's all he has.
But he
China.
refused to say like terrorists or hate group. I mean, no, he refused to say hate groups and Nazis and racists and white supremacists. Refused to say
Because
those
that's
words.
his base.
But
You
those
can't
words,
That's
offend
his
them.
people.
but
Mhm.
saying those words means so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just the other thing
And it's a
that
shame because, go ahead.
I was just thinking the other thing that really pissed me off is the fact of like you're telling me or anyone how to fucking protest. It's a fucking protest. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to draw attention. Like, don't tell me, oh, you would feel better if I just did, something else. No, it's a fucking protest. Did you get it? Did anybody pay attention to that, or did it cause attention? Is the media covering it right now? Exactly. That's what we wanted. That's why we did it. Why the fuck? Like, what? Sorry.
But that's not where he wants our attention. Or
No.
also, actually, I take that back. I amend that statement. That is where he wants our attention because he doesn't want our attention on North Korea. And let's not forget his whole proceedings for the election and Russia and the hacking and his election people getting on that train. So yeah, he'll use any device to distract from a lot of the real shit that's going on.
There's so much shit going.
You mean like the fact that North Korea said that we declare war from a fucking tweet?
Or that half of his administration used their personal emails during the campaign, and what else? What else is going on with that?
The fact that their healthcare bill didn't get passed.
Woo.
Oh yeah.
It didn't even make it to the Senate floor for a vote.
No. It's because somebody was in the hospital. What would happen was that they had the votes, but someone's in the hospital. They gotta do the vote later on in January, February. You know how it is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So hard.
But yeah, real actual problems. He tries to it's a good distraction is to pick a fight and see if he can win it, because that's all he loves to do. He likes to pick fights.
We just want to shout out to all the athletes that did decide to take a knee,
Yes.
and the owners who did decide to do that, and the ones who didn't, you know what? We don't hate you for it.
I just hope it becomes a catalyst for a real conversation for change, so that it's not just like, okay, how many people are going to take a knee this week? Like I actually hope it starts a real conversation.
Yes.
Jesus.
Michael Jordan, he stood up to it. He came out.
He sure did. MJ.
He sure did. MJ
and he
came
never
out.
says anything about
I know.
anything
I was so
political.
confused.
So
I was like,
kudos to you,
where'd he
MJ.
come from?
Okay, so what is the breaking news?
Heart just sank. People.com is reporting that Hugh Hefner, our Playboy magazine founder, he died at 91 today.
Oh.
Like he was that person that was like never gonna die, right?
Wow.
He was 91.
91.
Oh,
Man,
91.
mine hasn't updated.
Did he die in the arms of a Playboy? God, I
What
hope
the
so.
heck?
You guys, Hugh Hefner
Yeah.
died. Oh no.
I can, if you want, I can put. It's just the People.com article. I have like emotions about this. This is weird,
I don't know. I do too. I don't know why though.
I don't.
right?
Hey.
I don't feel like I should, but I don't know. He
You
was
gotta
born in
write
1926. Oh my
Right?
god. Oh.
Wow, he was born before World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's obvious, but I'm obsessed with World War II, so.
Hold on. According to People magazine, Hugh M. Hefner he died peacefully from natural causes at his home, the Playboy Mansion, surrounded by loved ones. Oh my, I can't.
Still nothing.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah, it's okay.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
R.I.P.
Okay.
so
So
just send out our
that's-
prayers to his family and his fans and everyone.
I'm
Did
gonna
he have
pour a
children?
glass for him. He did.
Yeah.
I just read it.
Yeah. Let's pour up.
Just as
Pour
pour
up.
for Hugh.
Just
Hugh Hef.
or sip
HH.
from a straw. I want to sip from a straw.
I did end up refilling my.
I'm gonna
See?
refill right now.
I'm
It's
sorry.
never too much.
Trees. He's a native of Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, I
He
know.
sure
I worked in
was.
his building, the Playboy building on Michigan
I was like, you worked
Me
at the
too.
mansion?
I was like, what?
Ave.
Did you now?
Go
I used to work.
on.
They ended up like leasing it out to like businesses. So I worked at Northwestern up there.
Mm.
Have a office there.
You guys, I feel like it's blasphemous that I'm drinking water on this podcast, but I'm thirsty.
Did you drink for Hugh with water?
Yes, I did.
I'm not judging.
No, I
but
didn't. I had champagne first, and then I had some water because I'm thirsty.
Okay, it's cool. Hey, that was exciting. That was our first breaking news.
Okay, let's move on to our next situation, shall
Whoa!
we?
I just gave that breaking news. Do I have to talk again?
Yeah, what's
No, what's
yeah.
that? Oh, the Michelle Obama. That's okay.
Oh,
You'll
all
be
right.
okay.
Girl, keep going.
You are
All right,
rocking
so-
the news this week.
All right. So today, our former first lady, she will always be the first lady in my heart and eyes and everything else. She
Michelle
made a
O is
statement.
bae.
She really is. So Mrs. Michelle Obama made a statement about women who voted for Trump. So according to The Hill, she was at the Inbound Marketing Conference in Boston, and so she just gave a quote saying that she felt like the women who voted for Trump voted against their own voice. She has one quote that says, "So we look at these two candidates as women, and many of us said he's better for me. His voice is more true to me. To me, that says you don't like your own voice. You like the thing that you're told to like." End quote.
She's so damn classy.
That's
Yes.
like, I feel like it's a very strong statement, and I want to agree with her because Michelle O is bae, but I don't know that they were thinking that deep into it. Or is that her whole point, that they weren't thinking deep enough into it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they were actively saying this man's voice is better than what I have to offer the world.
Yeah. So she was saying, in addition, like reflecting on the outcome of the election, that it, quote, "it doesn't say as much about Hillary, and everybody's trying to worry about what it means for Hillary. No. What does it mean for us as women?" So like, yeah, I don't think women went that deep. Some women didn't go that deep into it. Some did.
Right. And I think it's evidence in the fact that they voted for him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of the women that voted for Trump were more in the whole machine of like wanting change, but not I don't think they really thought about what that meant for them. And I think that's evidenced in how so many women excused his grab him by the pussy statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, excused the hell out of it. Like, how can... I can't, because I'm not of that mindset, but I just feel like that in and of itself shows that they weren't thinking about themselves. They weren't thinking about what electing him meant for them at all, other than make America great again, I guess.
Well, I disagree with that only in the sense of they could have been thinking about another part of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the women that voted for him were largely Caucasian. So,
Right.
like, they were thinking possibly about making America stand for white again.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was more important
But
to
then
them.
how do
than
you-
that,
how-
maybe that was, sorry.
No,
Maybe
go ahead.
that was more important to them than the woman part of it. Like, so there's some parts of your identity that you identify with more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So maybe for some of them, that was more important than the women's statements.
So identifying as white was more important than identifying as a woman.
Yeah.
Or even some women, they may not, like to us, hearing Trump saying grabbing her by the pussy, that's like traumatizing. But for some women, that's nothing to them. And that might just be like, oh, he's such a manly man.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's further evidenced even in like the percentages, how we can look at the number of like black
The
women
number.
who voted. It was like 96, 97%, whereas white women was
Yes.
like 50%, maybe 58%
Mm-hmm.
voted for Trump. So to me, at least, that reflected a prioritization of maintaining white privilege. So like, fuck being a woman, fuck grabbing by the pussy, fuck all that shit. Like, we have to maintain our white privilege in this way, and so that's why we're going to go this way instead of that way. That's clear in the number.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, Miska. You were saying 98% of black women voted for who?
Hillary, overwhelmingly.
I thought you said Trump. I was I never say his name. I thought you said 45.
No, it was like 90. It was like the 90, like the 90.
96, maybe 95.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it was really high.
White women, it was over 50. Like,
yeah, the white women, I knew that, but I thought you were saying the opposite.
Oh, nah, you know better than that.
Right, I was too appalled.
And then I'm just thinking about her comment too, like what Mystical was saying, because I've seen a lot of people posting after that, like after the numbers came out too, about like how it's crazy that like black women continuously show up when we need to. And then we have these other who choose privilege over, and they drop the fucking ball. Because like we did what we had to do.
Greater good.
Yeah. Their greater good was to keep their privilege in check. Ours was like, fuck it.
Let's try to stop harming women. Let's try. We did
right.
And to me, that's what matters. Like,
yeah.
I can sleep well at night. I know I did the right thing.
Right.
And it's also interesting that women were the ones that voted in both categories, voted overall, like the percentage of women that voted for Trump was less than men in any category, if that makes sense. And I think part of that might go to the fact that women have been trained to think about the collective. Black women show up and show out, like thinking about the collective. Maybe white women did the same thing, but they were thinking about their sons, their fathers, their brothers, their nephews, you know, and not so much about themselves.
Yeah.
It's just something that, I mean, I don't know if that's it, but, you know, that might have played a role in it.
Possibly, yeah.
Definitely something to think about.
How did, Jenna Lynn, do you want to speak for all Asian people? Or?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and speak for all the Asians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say that 100% voted for Hillary. These are false facts. I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Didn't correspond.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that will be it for me today. Thank you so much, everyone.
And scene. Here we go. Sit back and sit.
I just leave.
I can't even look at
Fantastic. She had a great segment. Now all the Asian people are like, oh, she did not represent us very well.
Oh, goodness. I think we can move on to the next one. I was going to type that, but it was quicker to just say it.
I like that you said it.
So, I mean,
I couldn't find the chat thing. It was lost.
Okay. I didn't have it open either.
so in some, can we say that we agree with what Michelle said, and at the same time we think that some women just were not all that deep and they picked the issue that they wanted to continue to focus on instead of rather just quiet in their own voice?
Does everybody want to chime in individually? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we agree?
What?
I'm trying to help segue and transition and end this thing.
I forgot we were segueing. I was just like, next. What's
Are
happening?
we gonna, like, what are we saying here? Are we, you know, I don't know.
In summary, I won't say that I blindly follow Michelle O's words, but I love what she has to say most of the time. And I was initially like, I don't know, but I do get that. I guess, yeah, for a lot of white women, being white took precedence over being a woman. And that's just, but then how many white women were out there for the Women's March? You know what I mean? Like,
but
they weren't the women
wasn't necessarily reflective of what they did in the privacy of the voting booth.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because
it might just be showing face.
True.
And be like, we're going to Women's March, and they actually didn't vote.
American Horror Story.
Like,
that's exactly what I'm basing the shit off right now.
I didn't see.
I have those flashbacks.
Oh,
I'm
right.
like,
oh, you mean Jill?
shit.
Yeah, I just feel like, they had all the women on Earth at the Women's March, but clearly that doesn't match ratio-wise with what the actual result was.
Right.
Go through all the pink hats and all that shit. Had people done what they were supposed to do, in my opinion.
Exactly.
On that day, that fateful day of November. So I just feel like.
In entertainment news, Ian Somerhalder, star of the Vampire Diaries, who is married to Nikki Reed, who was the star in one of the stars in the Twilight series.
Wow.
They're married.
That's what
Excuse me.
Yes.
So one vampire married another vampire.
That was in the BuzzFeed article. That was in the BuzzFeed article.
Okay.
I never made that connection.
Ian plays a vampire in the Vampire Diaries.
I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't. Oh, okay. I thought I don't know. I've never seen it.
I don't watch it.
But the theme is vampires. Anyway, so they're married, and they, were having some time to working on getting pregnant, right? And basically, they decided that they were going to look into getting off of birth control for Nikki and starting their whole pregnancy journey. When good old Mr. Somerhalder basically bragged in an interview that while they were on vacation in Spain, he decided that, or this is his quote, "We decided that we wanted to have children together and it was just time. But unbeknownst to poor Nikki, she didn't realize that I was going to go in her purse and take out her birth control. By the way, is the beginning of the pack, so I had to pop all those suckers out. It is a lot of work, especially after a little bit of sangria."
Poor him.
He even taped himself throwing out her birth control pills, and her basically having like a panic attack about her birth control being thrown out. And obviously, a lot of people on Twitter had a lot of things to say. And so I brought this up because so a lot of people were mentioning on Twitter that this sounds like a form of reproductive coercion, which is a thing that I didn't know about. But according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, reproductive coercion involves behavior intended to maintain power and control in a relationship related to reproductive health. This behavior includes explicit attempts to impregnate a partner against her will, control outcomes of a pregnancy, coerce a partner to have unprotected sex, and interfere with contraceptive methods, which is what he did by taking and throwing away her birth control pills and recording the whole thing, including her having a panic attack about it. So I brought that up because, number one, I'd never heard of reproductive coercion. So yeah, that's why I brought it up, because it's one of those bizarre stories that I feel like kind of just gets lost in the shuffle. But definitely it sounds like, and it's like an actual term for the ACOG, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists.
Got it.
So yeah, reproductive coercion.
Yeah.
By the way, they did get pregnant and have a baby, by the way. So
And
yes, they have a child together.
After that story, I can't even feel the blessing and the joy of them having a child. After the man that took the lady's birth control and thrown her into a panic attack, I feel like for some people that might be cute and funny for the ha-has and the he-he's, but like that's, I hate to be dramatic, but that's abuse. Like, you can't do that. If y'all are married, why couldn't you just talk to her and say, hey,
Right.
How about we stop taking the pills?
Right.
And
like for me, it sounds like just fuckboy status. Like,
exactly.
Like I understand y'all talked about it and like you had some sangria, so like ha ha he he, but
and I feel like that's a whole nother. I feel like we got episodes to talk about fuckboy culture and how it's normalized and how a lot of abusive behavior is normalized. But like that's super fucked up. I feel I have like negative emotions about the fact that they have a kid now because
even if they had like consent and they were gonna start a baby, going on a show and bragging about it, that you did it, and like you were proud of yourself that, oh, I took her birth control and I threw it away. I don't know. You can't respect that.
I think he later apologized, but harm has been done.
But didn't she like write? I think I clicked on the link. Didn't she say something about to the effects of like attacking social media and whoever the ACEOG saying something to the effect of like you took some, I don't know what it was. Show them
ACOG.
It's too many letters.
ACOG.
But so she said something to the effect of like, don't use me as a martyr for your cause or something. Like you're ruining my pregnancy was beautiful and like all this stuff after.
Yeah.
Tia has thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead, Tia.
No, I was waiting for you to finish.
No, I just wanted to say that isn't that something? I think she said something like that. Like she cursed out Twitter sphere or something about like basically you making something out of nothing because I'm happy over here. Y'all stay over there with y'all miserableness and don't use me as a platform to discuss reproductive abuse or something, whatever.
And that's all fine and dandy, and that's her right, but she also has to understand that her husband put it out there and made it a thing. Right. Maybe not that specific thing, but he put out there what he did, and you can't control how people respond to things. You can just control what you actually put out into the universe. It stops there. So cuss us out all you want, but that's
we're allowed to be upset about it.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't want to be a model, but like you are a model whichever way that goes. Like you can be a model for what it means to have gone through reproductive coercion, and you can also be a model for what it looks like when a woman is going along with what a man thinks she should do.
Exactly. And there it is.
Which is kind of what you're doing.
And I feel like that translates further into even her releasing that statement. And this is obviously like me making assumptions, but like, okay, he put it out there. It had this like reaction that he probably did not kind of bargain for or think that was going to happen. And so now, given his history, and I could be, definitely projecting a lot of stuff onto him that may or may not be there, but now she's out there putting the statement, which sounds a lot like other types of abuse that I have seen.
I was gonna say that,
You have to go out there and say, no, he's cool, it's cool.
Like she's in denial or something.
My pregnancy is beautiful. I am happy. We are happy. It was just a joke, because we know that is behavior of someone who is being abused in a relationship, is to try to defend the abuser. So maybe it ain't that deep, but it feels that deep to me.
Right. And maybe it really, like, for them, it really isn't a big deal. I don't know their relationship. Maybe they just do stupid shit all the time in their house, and it's fun and it's whatever and it's cool, right? But the problem, like I think Tia and Miska are saying, is the problem is that it is out there now, right? And to poo-poo,
I'm on board for that.
To like, what's the word? To shut down people's negative reactions to it. It makes it worse in a way, right? Like, instead of being like, oh yeah, I understand, this is the situation though, and we're cool with it, we're actually okay, we're happy for our child, cool. But and it could have been done, right? But then to just say like, I'm not gonna be a martyr for nobody, I'm not, like, y'all need to calm down, relax, like, dude, like, these are still your fans, right? These are still your people. Or even saying, like, I appreciate the concern, were really okay though. You know, like
yeah, it could have been as simple as that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we're just gonna be side-eyeing all their family photos.
Forever.
Did you really want that baby? I don't know. Nobody knows. You didn't know.
Did you cry about this? Like what?
Right.
Did you know you were pregnant? Did you know when he?
Mhm.
That was the one.
Mhm.
You know.
I have a question. Reproductive coercion. Can that apply to guys too? I'm not trying to open up another can of worms. I'm just asking because there was a part in there where it was like you're manipulating. Like,
yeah, so I'll read the definition again. It involves behavior intended to maintain power and control in a relationship related to reproductive health. This behavior includes explicit attempts to impregnate a partner against her will, control outcomes of a pregnancy, coerce partners to have unprotected sex, which I guess could be male or female, and interfere with contraceptive methods, which could include male or female, especially like poking holes in the condom and stuff like that.
That's what I went to.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes for both. It goes for men in a heterosexual relationship and women in a heterosexual or
you could even tell like
I guess
turkey basters. That's all I'm saying.
Turkey basters,
Right.
or
well, you could
even if you're like managing like your fertile time and person like it's cool and like it really ain't cool. That
or lying saying you on birth control, like I'm on death.
That's what I was gonna say. Women say that all the time, like, "Oh, I'm on birth control," when you're not.
Yeah.
There's that baby.
I would say even just saying like child support. I think even just saying like how guys will say it just feels better without a condom, so I don't want to wear one. Do you know what I mean? Like, why don't you just take the pill? Like, I think it can go even as basic as that.
Yeah.
So I guess just like the reckless behaviors around actions and behaviors that could cause pregnancy. I don't know.
Okay.
But to answer your question, Tia, yes, it goes for both.
All right.
crazy ass story.
Yeah.
Don't want to leave out the guys. I know shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is
what is our next segue?
Okay, so in talking about, and talking about women's rights and decisions and things like that.
That is a good segue.
What a great
segue.
in
talking about that, Tamar Braxton, Toni Braxton's younger sister from, what's that show called?
I don't know any of these people.
Braxton's Family Values.
You say the real.
I was going to say the real too.
She was formerly on The Real. So she is recording.
Wait, I just put that together. Okay, so Toni Braxton, the girl that sings "Unbreak My Heart."
Unbreak My Heart.
This is her little sister.
This is her youngest sister.
Why, after years, am I just piecing that together?
She looks like her.
All
of them look like.
Yeah,
I've never put it together.
And in certain songs, she sings like her in certain songs.
She sings too.
Yeah,
this is what we're talking about. Her final album,
right? So she has
"Lost in the World."
Oh, spoiler alert! Shit, Shirley.
I don't know.
Sorry.
God.
So I guess basically, she's been married to Vincent Herbert, who is a manager and kind of helps with, I guess, uplifting or starting off. Crap! I just spilled wine all over. Whatever. Lady Gaga's career, and so she's doing what she described or said is her final album because she wanted to distance herself from the music business and do it for the sake of her relationship. Mainly because I guess they both bump heads a lot when it comes down to creative license and handling her career, as well as she also has, I don't know how old Logan is now, but she also has a son.
He should be about 4.
Yeah, so she basically just decided that she is going to make this is her dream come true. Like, she's always wanted to be a singer, be out there, be in the industry, in the music industry, basically. She's been doing it, working on this since she was, I want to say, a teenager, when her and Toni Braxton and all of them started the Braxton's group, and they picked Toni over her, over the whole group. Yeah, so in the beginning, it was Toni Braxton and her sisters. When they went in for an audition, they wanted Toni and not the rest of the group, and Toni's career took off, but Toni's career led the platform for her to be able to have, you know, what she has, because now she's known as, you know, Toni Braxton's sister. But so basically the question I have for you guys with that is, because this is an interesting topic to discuss, is like, would you sacrifice your career or your dream for the sake of your relationship? Like, if you saw things going south, would you like put a, you know, muzzle on that and try to save it?
You're talking to 5 very strong women. So
my instinct was to say no. Like, immediately say no.
So I'm with you, gentlemen. My initial instinct was to say no, but I will amend it in the sense that I don't think it's necessarily the relationship, but if my partner had like some illness and they needed someone to care for them, and I needed to like stop work for a bit to care for my partner that I care about, and they have health issues and whatever, in that sense, I think so, yes. But if it's just because you being a bitch baby and you are mad about my career, no.
Honestly,
No.
I don't know how. It's hard for me to put this in the correct context, knowing a lot. Well, not, let's put that in quotes. Knowing stuff about Tamar and how fucking dramatic she is. Like, she is filled with drama. And all the time.
And that shit, Mister.
Honestly, when I even heard this, and I know this is not answering the question, but I just feel like it's likely that Vince has not asked her to give up her career. I feel like she's looking for sure. This is the same woman who called Toya Paperback Toya on Instagram. Like, Toya is Lil Wayne's baby mama, whatever. And so I just feel like, girl, okay, you only have 2 albums out?
This is her 4th album, Miska. This is her 4th one. The last one,
like,
I don't know if that.
People say
I
they're
didn't even know she's making music.
How many times has Jay-Z retired? He's retired like 80 times. So
80.
Okay. But given the relationship thing, I feel like there is, I don't know, like a certain amount of compromise involved in that. So I wouldn't be quick to say no or yes. It would be like a circumstantial thing, kind of like what Shirley said.
Right.
Like, okay, if somebody got terminal illness, then we're going to have to adjust some things. If I have a child, we're going to have to adjust some things, but you're going to have to adjust some things too, because it's your kid too. Or like whatever. So I can't say that I don't see myself giving up completely, being like, deuces, I'm out of the field that I'm in, whatever, because my man don't like it. No.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening, but I do feel definitely like open to like adjustments of some sort, given
compromise
the concerns are from the partner.
I was just thinking about, yes, that was her dream, but dreams also change as you get older and grow.
That's true.
So maybe her dream now is something different than what it was before. And I think that can go along for all of us. You grow, circumstances change, people are around, people aren't around, and you adjust accordingly.
That's true. Yeah. I guess she said her relationship was more important, which is fair, because they've had
I mean, it's totally fair. My concern is kind of what we were talking about with loosely related abuse, right? Like, what's the actual, like, are you really choosing your relationship over your career, or are you succumbing to your partner's requests and demands as opposed to your career? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between making a choice and being like, okay, yes, you know what? Right now, I've lived my dream, and my family is much more important. That's your own personal choice. But is she doing that, or is she saying, my husband's mad about X, Y, Z, so let me not piss him off and let go of my career? Right. You know what I mean? And we'll never know. We don't know what's in her heart. We don't know what's in the relationship.
Well, she will be on my Sister in My Head TV show tomorrow, so I will be finding out what's going on with that, and will she address it, because she likes Tamar like a little sister, so they talk.
A little update.
Who is that, Treese?
That would be Wendy Williams.
Okay. Yeah.
Just for the people that don't know,
I'm sorry,
which is
guys.
everyone.
Yeah, our best friends are Pod Save America.
Yes.
Teresa's sister. I mean, everyone we just need to have like a family tree of
a family tree. Just throw up a genogram. You know, I might actually throw one up in the video. So look out for that.
I'm excited.
So sad.
Yeah.
The lives we lead, ladies. It's funny.
Very fabulous.
So our first charity shout out. Okay, so our first charity shout out is actually a couple of charities. The first one is courtesy of former POTUSes.
Yes, POTUSI, I think.
POTUSI.
POTUSI.
That's fun to say. POTUSI.
POTUSI. That sounds like a group name, like a boy band or something.
That include Presidents Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Mr. Barack Obama. I don't know if the qualification is to only be former POTUS.
I think it's former living presidents.
Oh, okay. So their appeal or their charity, their place to send support is called One America Appeal. And you can visit that at www.oneamericaappeal.org. That is oneamericaappeal.org. I'll also throw a link up on our YouTube video for The Hill that has a couple of different charities that you can send your support to, particularly for Puerto Rico disaster relief and the tragedy that's going on down there for our fellow Americans. I think Tia had those names.
So some of the charities that are helping with aiding the people in Puerto Rico are Global Giving, UNICEF, United for Puerto Rico, which is run by the First Lady of Puerto Rico, the American Red Cross, Unidos, which is a relief fund for Hurricane Maria victims in Puerto Rico, and the Salvation Army.
Awesome. Go ahead and check out the links that I've put on our YouTube video. So you can directly go to where you can send support for not only our family and friends in Puerto Rico, but also for all of those that have been affected by Harvey, Irma, Jose,
Lee,
Maria,
Katia.
obviously, Katia. So any support that you can give, honestly, is helpful and can go a very long way into supporting people. Therese, I think you wanted to shout out some people.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Pitbull and J-Lo. J-Lo for donating $1 million to help with the hurricane efforts for Puerto Rico. And for Pitbull, who actually used his own private jet, donated his own private jet to bring cancer patients from Puerto Rico to the mainland, which would be America. Shout out to you guys for
that's dope.
supporting the efforts.
Oh.
Yeah, and just so a lot of people, we all know, but for some reason people still don't know out there that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. These are American citizens.
It sure is. It's a territory of the United States.
So just like Hawaii is part of the United States, let's not forget that these are Americans that are hurting out there. And obviously...
3.5 million people don't have drinking water.
Yeah.
This is not just your vacation spot. These are... If you want to be patriotic,
yes, throw that out there. Yes.
Help your fellow Americans. Please and thank you.
I like it.
Yes.
Boom.
Your mom. Yeah.
On that note, let's whine about it, friends.
Let's just keep that in.
Should we have paused?
No, I like us doing it better than just adding an actual sound.
But what do the
so sweet?
Want? What do the
what do the people want? You know what? Actually, go ahead and comment on our podcast or on our YouTube video, and you tell us what you'd like. Do you like our vocal audio arrangements, or do you like, the manufactured stuff? What do you prefer?
Give us like all the feedback.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. We're new to this. We welcome any and all feedback as long as you're not a dick about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Don't be a dick.
I mean, we'll look at that too, but then we'll just ignore you. So if you have some constructive criticism, we will gladly take that and adjust.
And we appreciate it. I think that might be the title of this week's episode. Don't be a dick.
Don't be.
I think that's the theme of a lot of the things that we talked about, actually.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't be a dick.
Just don't.
Okay, so in our first issue or part of Let's Whine About It, we have an interesting group that has grown a lot of popularity on Facebook for all the thirsty men and women out there. Teresa's the one that got us all hooked on this. Well, not hooked, but
what is this page again? I don't know.
introduced it to us.
Excuse me? What?
Yeah, you are.
So, okay, so this is what happened. You know, I'm minding my own business. Like I never do.
It was a cold September night.
I love how she said, like, I never do.
Right.
So I was just, scrolling through Facebook, and I just seen like a couple of my, a lot actually of my Facebook friends posting and commenting about this group called Beard Game Matters. And so I happened to, I'm like, I know one of my friends who has a beard, right? So like we're in a group chat together. So I'm like, hey.
What's their name? No, don't say it.
I don't want to do that. I'm like, I'm gonna keep them confidential.
But our name is at Wine Podcasts.
Sure.
Yes.
Slide into the DM.
So I'm just like, man, he posted about it. I'm like, you know what? Put me in that group. Let me see what's going on. Okay. I go in there. It's like hella pictures of dudes with just beards, and all of these women commenting on them. There was even a post about married people need to get out because this is for single people. And I was like, how dare you? I want to look at beards. I'm not going to contact them. And then there were also some pictures.
I have so many negative
Just a little disclaimer real quick. I'm not going to contact them.
I just want to see what it was all about.
Oh.
So, because I'm nosy. I'm doing this for the people. Listen.
God bless you. God bless you, Trees.
That's real investigative journalism right there.
I wanted to know what was going on. And naturally, because you guys are my friends, I'm like, I cannot hold this to myself. I need to pass this out. So I told you guys naturally about this. Yes. And so before I added you,
allegedly.
I had to find out what was going on. So there's pictures of guys with beards that's posting pictures of themselves, and other women posting pictures of guys they've seen with beards in this group. And then there's also now women posting pictures of themselves. I don't know if they're single, married, or not. I don't know what's going on, but they're posting pictures of themselves as well to have people slide in these DMs.
I've had minimal time on this group. Just throwing it out there. It's been a blessing.
Yeah, a little bit of background. My cousin and I spent some time on there, I believe. Was that yesterday? Must have been yesterday. My cousin and I spent some time on there, and she was filling me in because she's been there from the beginning when they had 1,000 followers. And she was filling me in because at that point yesterday, there's over 1 million followers, but she got notified it was still 1,000, 1,000, and she was saying how the guy who started the group started it not as a thirst trap group, but as he has beard oil or beard products to help you, make your beard luscious.
Right. Yeah.
And last time I had went in there, I noticed that they're starting. It's like a dating site. You
can a dating site
and be on there and be dating and scoping people out, and people are putting their picture in there. 29 years old, I'm a registered nurse, single, no kid, very. And I was okay, I mean, whatever. People find love wherever they want to find it, cool. I'm not gonna be against that, but I just feel like it's
I'm judging.
It's getting quite intense.
It's just gross. It's just gross. And I think because I'm on another Facebook group that's geared towards love and relationships, and it's all women, so I'm getting that aspect where it's supportive and not a thirst trap. So it's weird to see a a co-ed, that sounds weird, but both sexes in a group for what should be like a beard appreciation, because I got that feeling that it probably started off as a bunch of guys showing off their beards and talking about the products that they use, right? But then they use it as a way to get women on there. And maybe it's because I'm a private person. I don't know. And maybe because I don't believe in like dating apps or whatever. I don't see it being something that's positive in the long run, and it could blow up really badly.
I don't know. I feel like my feelings are a little bit different because I feel like your perspective surely would be definitely different as someone who is not on dating apps. Because to me, it's in the same family, so I don't feel
it is in the same family as dating apps.
And I feel like people spend all day swiping left and right all the time. So I feel like you see something you like in the group and love come from that, just like people meet on Twitter and Facebook and like whatever. I feel like that's fine. And I also feel like, what's my other thing? As far as the money aspect of it, I just have a hard time like hating on somebody getting to their coins. Like if these 30 people want to give me 99 cents to hook them up with people with facial hair, then I'm going to take it. Like I'm literally going to take it. I really don't feel like it's that different again from if you pay for like eHarmony or Match.com or whatever.
I mean, this is free.
I feel like it's, a black dude trying to get his little
that's true.
facial hair oil group off of it, and I feel like I'm here for the black business thriving, even if it is out of thirst. So I just find it annoying. I don't know. I feel like I'm just more aggy at the fact of like being asked 80 times a day, like if I'm in the group.
I like all these girls posting photos though, but they're trying to be real subtle. And their caption is, "Good morning, all." Like, stop it. You know what you're doing.
The other thing,
Any girls?
There's been some girls.
There's been some girls.
The one I didn't like was that, like, if you married, you shouldn't be in here. And it's like, but I'm nosy, though.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm like, but,
okay?
I'm like, but I'm nosy.
Trees keeps bringing it up.
Oh, my God.
No. So before I added you in today, there were like multiple posts about like, get out. If you married, get out. Like you shouldn't be in here.
Don't tell me what to do.
Nosy.
I like groups like that it just I don't want to know my real friends in there. So I'll stick to groups where I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, okay.
So
the grand scheme of things, it is 1.5 million people
That's
in this group.
crazy.
When I joined, it was, I think when I showed you guys, it was like 500,000.
Yeah. When you added us, what was that, 2 days ago? That was like it was 500,000 people.
When you added some of us.
yeah, I wasn't added.
Well, you guys didn't reply to the messages, so
exactly. I mean,
you missed
I
out.
just feel like it
missed
should have
out.
just been assumed that we want to be in this group. I don't understand why you gotta have to go through this roundabout about asking questions.
Right.
Like, oh, someone has pizza. Do you want some pizza? Yes, bitch. Yes, give me the pizza. Like, just add me to the group.
Jesus.
Are they coming down right on me right now?
Oh my God, that was
God.
too real. It's just got real. Just got real.
Because like bottles of wine are done, we're like winding down with our let's whine about it.
It's all love. It's all love.
You know we love you.
I know, but I'm just saying, I felt very attacked.
Well, maybe next time you can do things to not feel attacked, like add your friends to the group.
You'll learn from your mistakes,
Ouch.
The reprimand of it all. Oh my
The
God.
reprimand.
We're at Wine Podcast. If you'd like to donate anything to us.
At Wine Podcasts.
With an S.
Across all platforms.
With an S across all platforms. I believe
Twitter,
even
Facebook, Instagram.
Are we
and our
doing an
Facebook
outro
likes
right now?
page. No, I don't think so, but I think it's turning into one.
Yeah.
Is it? Is this turning into an outro?
End of podcast.
Look how we
Hey,
did that, guys.
Yo,
Whoa, I perked up. This is an outro. So yeah, like we said, you can catch catch us on all of that.
So thank you so much for listening to this week's Women's Insight on News and Entertainment. Please rate, subscribe, review, not necessarily in that order. Please give us feedback. Please, please, please help us grow, learn, whatever. And we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Oh, how fun, ladies.
Yay! Second
How fun.
podcast.
Love.
We still need to work on not having, 1,000 recordings that we're doing each night.
Trees is here. Let's record.
Da, 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 da. That's our segue now.
Every time I come in, something weird is happening.
Yep. These are your friends.
Hello,
I don't know what to
ladies.
tell you.
Whoa.
We didn't pick you.
Whoa. I'm
Indeed.
trying to wake
No, I think we could just literally.
We can leave a pause. Yeah.
For like 3 seconds.
Bless you, Miska.
Move
Bless
on.
you.
Yes, let's pause, and then Jen, you can edit out the pause. Or
I'll
put
edit
song
in the
there.
pause. Don't tell me what to do.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. So, our first charity shout out. This is me dancing to the song.
I paused.
I can mute our audio and put the
I
song.
smiled and took a sip.
Treese is the charity shout out correspondent.
Right.
Our first charity shout out. That's funny.